Hey guys, so you know when you go and order the pizza, you never really want to get the mini one. You're always going and you're getting the large or the extra large. Why does it always seem that the bigger is always the better? Today, we're gonna teach you why for your disc brakes, bigger isn't better. And you want
the little mini one.
You know, the pizza for yourself, the little guy. That's what you want. So today on Supercross BMX, find out why the 120 is the choice for you. Come on in.
Yeah, dude.
On disc brakes, this is the world that we're in now. It seems like we went from regular side pull brake, we went to cantilever brakes, we went to V brakes. Now we're in disc brakes. When everybody first started switching over to disc brakes for BMX, we started off with these big giant rotors. Everybody's grabbing their brakes, everybody's locking up. You know, from all the podcasts I've done, from all the speeches I've given, every time I've gotten up on my soapbox, you know that I haven't been the biggest fan of disc brakes. Disc brakes are typically heavier, they lock up, they end up throwing you over the turn. There's been a lot of problems with disc brakes. Over the last few years, some things have happened to where everybody's kind of settled in and we've agreed that the smaller rotor will help. Using less pistons on your caliper works. Adjusting your lever to where it's not a locking stop and actually allowing it for it to be a linear braking works better. Some of you are still running a 160 rotor, a 140 rotor, but the optimal that you want to go with, you want to go with the 120. You want to go with the little baby rotor. You want to go with the little personal pizza. You want to go with the snack size. This is what you want to have. The reason that you want this is on a BMX bike, you've got such a small wheel. You have no tread. When you grab that brake, you don't want it locking up. You don't want it throwing you over the turn. And that's what happens. In BMX racing, the whole idea is to go as fast as you can and to keep that speed. So when you do need to use your brakes, when you're going through a turn, when you're going over an obstacle, you're wanting to scrub the speed. So you're wanting to shave just that little bit of speed. So with a V brake, you're able to do that. You've got that little bit of modulation, and with the modulation, you're able to shave, to scrub just a little bit of speed. You hit that turn, shave a little bit of speed, get back on the gas, and go. With the disc brake, if you start watching some of the old videos on USA BMX, on all their live feeds, you can see all of a sudden people are going into a turn, all of a sudden they're hitting their brake, boom, they're high siding. They're flipping over the front of their bike. What's happening is they just started to switch to a disc brake. They didn't know how to set it up for proper modulation. They grabbed their disc brake, it locked up their rear wheel. When it locked up their rear wheel, they're running a high tire pressure. When they're running a high tire pressure with no tread, all of a sudden that rear end breaks loose. When the rear end breaks loose, they've got their front end taking all of the weight. As all of their weight transfer starts to move forward, boom, the back end slides out, they slide over, all of a sudden ass over tea kettle. You know, they flip over the bike, everything's done. So that's where having the smaller rotor sets it up to where it makes it easier for modulation. It makes it to where you can slow down a little bit better. I know that sounds contrary to what you want your brakes to do. Typically when you say, oh, I want brakes, I want my brakes to stop, and you do, but you don't want your brakes to lock up. And with all the tire treads that are out there, these smooth tracks, the smooth tires, the high tire pressures, you've got such a small traction area that by having that small traction area, when you lock up that brake, it's just throwing you away. It's throwing you off your bike. Your bike's defeating you. You need to be able to ride smarter and be able to defeat your bike. So guys, as you can see, the 120 rotor sets up really nice for a BMX wheel. As you can tell with this BMX wheel, as you look, the Tioga Faster tire, just like most of the tires on the market now, the Maxxis, the Power Blocks, the V's, all the good high performance racing tires, they've got virtually no tread on them anymore. As this rotor locks up your rear wheel, if it were a larger rotor, you'd end up losing all control of your bike. The back end starts to skid, your weight transfers forward. As your weight transfers forward, you flip over the bars, you crash. By having the smaller rotor, you're able to modulate your brakes. you're able to feather it. You're able to keep it in control. And at this point, you're able to slow the bike, not lock up the bike. And by slowing the bike, you're able to get back on the pedals quicker. You're able to get the bike going faster and get the bike going quicker, which is ultimately, when you're racing, what you want to do. The goal in racing is not to stop in the turn and then to restart it. You want to slow down and get going. There's a beautiful thing called inertia, which is where you start the wheel turning from a stopped state. You have to overcome inertia. Every time you're coming out of the gate, you're overcoming inertia. Every time this rear wheel stops, you have to overcome inertia again. If we can keep this wheel moving and keep this wheel in motion, it's easier to keep it going faster and to get it going back up to speed quicker. By slowing the rear wheel rather than locking up the rear wheel, you're able to do that. So you're actually racing faster by slowing down rather than locking up the rear wheel. You're able to stay in more control. You're able to carve your line a little bit deeper. You're able to stay in more control, which is what you need to do. You don't want to be that loco crazy guy out there on the track, crashing, bumping, taking people out because you can't control. You want to make sure that you are in control of your race and that you're controlling what you're doing. The best way to do that is having the proper bike handling skills, and part of that is by controlling the way that you're able to slow your bike. Having the proper brakes is part of it. That's where V-brakes have always been a good option for everybody. By having the V-brakes, you have that good linear pull, you have that good modulation. On the discs now, with having the smaller 120 rotor, we're able to achieve a similar effect. So this is where everything's going. All right guys, so hopefully today you learned enough about why you want the little mini pizza. Why smaller is more better. More better, baby. You want the little one. Anyways, guys, I hope you had a great time today. If you liked the video, be sure to like, subscribe. We don't have any subscribers. Subscribe, please. We're trying to make sure that everybody in the world knows that BMX racing is the best sport in the world. Everybody needs to know this. BMX is the best. Shout it from the mountaintops. Mountaintops? Mountaintops. Jesus, how horrible is this? Shout it from the mountaintops. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Trust me, I've heard what you guys don't like. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. Hope you guys have a great day. Grab your bike, go ride, get to the track, they're open, go now, get out there. Hey, James, Nolan, come on, give us a follow, guys. That's the way it works, right? You follow us, we follow you, we subscribe to you, you subscribe to us. I know it's BMX stuff. I know you guys like BMX bikes. We like cars. You like BMX bikes. We like cars. Take a look at this.